This is a video that I have wanted to make in some form or another for I think at least 2 years. I've had it on my documents for God knows how long, due to it being a dissertation that I had written at university, and it's just been lying there gathering dust. And I just thought now's the time to do it because surely no one else has approached this subject matter except for last year in October where Nerdist put out that article, but other than that, nothing. The story of the book and its subsequent adaptations revolve around an alien organism discovered in the Antarctic, being thawed out and attacking a research facility. John Carpenter's The Thing was almost universally panned by critics, and audiences did not take to its nihilistic and grotesque interpretation of alien life. A factor likely enlarged by E.T. the Extraterrestrial, a family-friendly sci-fi film released to both critical and audience acclaim. It came out only a couple of weeks prior. Now The Thing is a subject of praise and has gained a far better reputation than its initial release, and is still widely discussed in film circles on its ending, its creature, its atmosphere, but what is it specifically that people find so fascinating? What is it? The creature in both the 1982 adaptation of the book Who Goes There and in the prequel from 2011, as probably you can surmise, stays closer to the book than the 1950s Howard Hawks feature, which treats the monster as more like a Frankenstein vegetable monster. In the 1982 version, the creature is not one life form, but a series of cells that infects a host and assimilates them on a cellular level, with all genetic information and memories making them a perfect copy, until the creature gets discovered, and reveals itself in an explosion of limbs and teeth of life forms that it's either currently or previously assimilated. The horror comes in from not knowing who is infected and what the creature's intentions even are. We're not given an overarching motive behind why it operates the way it does. It's just that it's in its nature to infect and spread. Are the humans a food source? Is it self-defense? Could it be a weapon for some higher being? This is left to the audience to fill in the blanks and leave them with more to think about. Another example of the movie's ambiguity being its strength is in the ending, in which two characters are left as supposed survivors of the ordeal with the monster supposedly destroyed off-screen. But we never know for sure. This is a key distinction I find between the film of The Thing and in real life with AI. AI art is obviously on the rise at the moment, and by on the rise, you could argue that it is just a phase at the end of the day. I'm sure through legislation and other factors restricting what AI art can be may protect us in the long run, but the fears surrounding it come from a deep-seated level of art at the end of the day is about communication, about humans interacting with one another. It's one of our oldest methods of communication, dating back to the Stone Age. It's something that all of us can look at and say, these were the prints made by people from long ago, and this is work that has stuck with us for many years. AI art is an ever-intrusive fear for illustrators worldwide, and a large number of people don't find there to be an issue of machines potentially taking over a profession previously seen as something only humans can do. Now, many might find merit in the generation of images through algorithms and marvel at our technology leaping forward. It's becoming quick to turn into debates that surround the contested legitimacy of AI art being recognized as its namesake suggests. AI itself is improving to the point where the work of someone or the work of machines is harder to distinguish to the eye. And the question arises that if there's no visual separation between them, then would this supersede the works of human beings? And what would be lost as a result? I don't know about you, but I find it incredible that we can peel back the layers of history and go back thousands of years and see human evolution at play via the art that they produce. We are seeing through the eyes of people long gone from this earth what they were thinking at any given moment. It's not about something being visually appealing or even to an extent the message and whether or not it resonates today, but more or less the person behind it putting their views, their systems, their eyes onto paper
and showing us what they as an individual were like. The idea behind this is that while you as a human being may not be on this planet for that long, the work that you produce may outlive you if you're lucky. The idea that people from generations into the future will be able to look back on the way that you saw the world is an exciting prospect. And it's something that, with the advent of AI, you can almost see the tides of history shift as your own individual fingerprints become muddied by all of this nondescript, blurred together, completely devoid of life or human impression. Much as you can type away what you'd want in a certain image, how much you want the light to refract off of a certain object, at the end of the day, you're not the one putting your hand on the paper and actually scribbling something down, which is a far more visceral and far more human way of going about it. There's a scene from the 1982 thing that I think about a lot in reference to this, and it's the part where the character of Bennings, played by Peter Maloney, is struggling outside because he has indeed been infected by the thing. In fact, it's no longer him at all. You hear him let out this demonic shriek, all the more impactful as it's just simply his human face making this noise. But what really sets it apart is that while his body and head may look human, his hands certainly do not. Ironically, in a similar way to a lot of AI art, as for the longest time, AI seemed to have a problem with hands. And while he was found out before he fully transformed, that wasn't always going to be the case. If they didn't get to him soon enough, he would have been, just like them, another human, wandering around, completely indistinguishable, until it's too late. AI is accelerating at a frightening rate. More and more images become indistinguishable from real life. And it makes you wonder, why so paranoid? I mean, all the characters in the thing, they should have been fine with it because, well, if it's going to be a perfect imitation of yourself, why bother? I mean, they're all just humans at the end of the day, nothing special. Why don't you just let this completely alien life form, completely unlike us, just take over the world and have that be it? Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but if anything, it goes to show you just how much I hold John Carpenter in high regard, even when the meanings that I pick up from his movies are completely unintentional. John Carpenter has long said that he primarily makes movies for the entertainment value, and having some sort of deeper meaning is, well, meaningless to him. But there's so much in his work, from They Live to Escape from New York. These movies, while being entertaining, also have a lot to say. These movies were mocking and satirizing real-world events that were happening at the time. The Thing is an evergreen film. It's something where, at the time, obviously, it did not reach the critical heights that it really deserved, but over time people have come to recognize its genius and look beyond all of the scary monster effects, which are impressive, but at the end of the day, aren't really what the snobby cinema elitist would point to as a deep work. And thankfully, this movie has now finally received the recognition it deserved from the beginning, as it has now been added by the Library of Congress to the National Film Registry. This is what forced my hand and made me finally make this video, as I was just so thrilled to see that one of my all-time favorite films had finally been put under a spotlight like that. I'm sure I'm going to have heaps of disagreement as to my interpretation of the film, and there are some other things about the movie that I would like to discuss in a future video, but right now I'd just like to point out how this movie really has a lot more going under the surface than people realize, and one of them is in the parallels you can draw between AI of right now and the paranoia presented in the movie. I understand that's not the conclusion that everyone will come to, but by all means, please leave your own opinions in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.